For better or worse, rap and music in general would not be what it is without a bit of materialism. That of course includes the cars,
crashed a McLaren, bought me a Tesla. I know you sick of me talking about cars.
And the clothes.
What's Gucci, my nigga? What's Louis, my killer?
And lots more luxury and designer names. But there are a handful of labels that dominated the bars of the 2010s. So here are the decade's top 5 most popular brands according to Genius Data. Starting at number 5 is Louis Vuitton. The French fashion house had over 8,000 mentions in music lyrics this decade.
Louis V my bag and Louis V on my belt.
My dog will probably do it for a Louis belt. That's just all he know, he don't know nothing else.
In 2017, Louis became more of a hit with rappers than ever before, collaborating with streetwear staple Supreme, and in 2018, recruiting artistic director Virgil Abloh.
Virgil drops on Louis, I want everything he made.
Prior to joining Louis, Virgil made waves founding Off-White and coming up alongside the Louis Vuitton Don himself, Kanye West.
A backpack nigga with luxury taste buds, and the Louis Vuitton still got all of my pay stubs.
Up next at number 4 is Comme des Garçons.
Comme des garçons, comme des garçons, comme des...
With 9,000 lyric mentions, the Japanese label helmed by Rei Kawakubo is a favorite with fashion-forward musicians like Pharrell.
The Gandalf hat and the weird-ass clothes, that's Comme des Garçons and the Buffalo.
And Lil Uzi Vert, who riffs on CDG's iconic heart-shaped logo.
I was on the phone, yeah, I will play with Cardi. Come on, that's garçon, hearts up on my Cardi.
Comme des Garçons translates to like boys in French, something Tyler the Creator plays with on Igor.
Cause it's Parker, it's Comb, you're my favorite garçon.
Next at number 3 is the only non-luxury brand on the list, Nike. From Mac Miller name-checking the swoosh on his very first mixtape back in 2010, which samples Nas's The World Is Yours,
Finna blow, don't snooze, don't sleep. All I really need is some shoes on my feet. Nikes on my feet, keep my cipher complete.
to Travis Scott closing out the decade with one of, if not the most hyped sneakers of 2019.
Nike boys, we don't do 3 strikes.
Nike reigned as the shoe king, raking in more than 11,000 mentions. With sneaker collaborations at an all-time high, the biggest names in rap were extremely vocal about whether or not they were Team Nike. They even dragged competitor Adidas into the drama, most notably Kanye on his Nike diss track, Facts.
First off, can Adidas, man, you know they love it. If Nike ain't had Drizzy, man, they wouldn't have nothing. Woo!
Drake drew a line in the sand over his allegiance when he linked up with fellow Nike boy Travis Scott on Sicko Mode.
Jesus Christ, yeah, checks over stripes, yeah, that's what I like, yeah, that's what we like, yeah.
Second place on the list isn't in the business of shoes or fashion, but cars. It's Mercedes-Benz.
No tint out on my window, so you see a nigga shining in that Benz.
You really think we could make a baby name Mercedes without a Mercedes Benz and 24-inch rims, 5% dent and air conditioning vents? Hell fucking no.
Every year, the German luxury car retailer battles it out with Rolls-Royce for the most mentioned car brand in lyrics, but the Benz was the most mentioned car of the decade with over 12,000 lyrical mentions. Closing out 2019, The Weeknd released a commercial for Mercedes' first fully electric SUV, doubling as a music video for Blinding Lights and highlighting the German automaker's innovation through the years.
What do you mean I drive a Mercedes?
Finally, at the top spot with the most lyrical mentions this decade is luxury fashion retailer Gucci. With almost 12.5 thousand lyrical mentions, Gucci just beat out Mercedes by less than 100 mentions, making it music's most mentioned brand of the decade.
Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang.
From their embroidered snakes,
Boy, you so fit like my collar, you snake, and I swear to God that be that Gucci.
to headwear.
My life is a movie, bull riding in boobies. Cowboy hat from Gucci, Wrangler on my booty.
That last line was just like a big flex, really. Even Gucci don't even have a cowboy hat yet.
Gucci's been very influential with rappers, making it a favorite to flaunt on the back and on the track, especially now that the brand's partnered with Harlem designer Dapper Dan. Dan began making bespoke Gucci outfits for rappers and celebrities in the 1980s, before the fashion house sued him. In 2017, the brand and Dan made peace and later collaborated on a joint collection. But the brand's success hasn't come without other misfires. In 2019, Gucci released a wool balaclava jumper resembling blackface. Rappers, many who wore the brand before, began publicly boycotting Gucci.
It's your boy Soulja Boy, and it's here for you to notice Gucci is canceled. I'm shocked and I'm appalled.
Still, many artists continue to wear the brand. Later in 2019, Atlanta trap pioneer Gucci Mane finally collabed with the brand he named himself after, becoming a face of the Gucci Cruise campaign. One of the photo shoots even became his Woptober 2 album cover. And there's the list. Runner-up brands included Rolls-Royce, Hennessy, and Instagram. Only time will tell if design controversies or sneaker diss tracks will knock one of the reigning brands from the throne in the years to come. What brands do you think will be the most mentioned in the 2020s? Let us know in the comments. I'm Russell Abad with Genius News, bringing you the meaning and the knowledge behind the music.